Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another free-to-play video. This time we're going with one of my new favorites. I love playing this deck, Charmers. Let me show you the deck profile. The budget friendly, as we said, is 2,000 gems or less, so you can guarantee an ultra rare in your pulls. You just buy 2 10 packs each. And like I said, I'll show you the deck profile, and I'll show you 2 matches just to see the potential of this deck. Some things are still in testing, but let me show you my idea of how to make this budget friendly. Alright, so starting off with DD Crow, highly effective for banishing opponent's cards such as DPE. Duel and Lockbird, this just helps in the draw game from the opponent, locking them out from their main deck, but it also locks you out that same turn, so it has its draw sides, but highly effective if you use it right. I'm still learning. As I said, I'm a silver gold player, so I'm not the best, and obviously there's Yu-Gi-Oh players on here who've been playing for years. I've been playing for almost a month, so I am not as experienced as these players, but I get the job done. Alright, let's continue. So Dark Charmer and Line of the Light Charmer. So these cards typically aren't used. You could swap them out if you're not feeling them, but I feel like they have their uses. I can show you a match where they were utilized very well. But basically they have synergy with, so if you flip them you could take control of a monster, right? So they start off in defense position. So the synergy lies with this card, Unpossessed. Charmer monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. So unless they could get rid of this card, you're pretty much sitting pretty, setting up your board. And you could take control of either a light or a dark monster. I mean, there's other elements. You know, you could pick and choose from any element, really. But I don't see those elements in play as much. You can make an argument for Earth or Fire. There are some strong water decks, but I wouldn't specifically play this card just for that. I mean, this card is filling in space. Ideally, I would keep either the light or dark. I would keep one of them and replace the other with one of the UR cards that I'm missing extra copies of. So we can get into that in a little bit. But moving on, Ash Blossom. This comes from the pack, highly essential. Ghost Spell, I crafted this, and it has its uses. Negation, card effect negation. But this card is not necessary. I just crafted it because I thought it would be useful, along with Droll Lock and DD Crow to shut my opponent down. But I'm sure there's better cards, possibly, that you could craft, like Nibiru or Skill Drain. Like there's better cards probably than this. I probably crafted this too early, but your mileage may vary. So moving on, so we have the Familiar Possessed Spellcasters, which can be special summoned by sending their normal counterparts and one face-up Earth monster to the graveyard. So you basically never be using this effect, unfortunately. They're just here to be 1850, normal summons in each element. So we got Earth, Water, Fire, Wind. This is a different card I'll get into in a minute. Dark and Light. So this card, I just crafted these, so I didn't even know they existed until last night. So we have Raging Area, Blazing Kita, Avalanching Alsa, and Storming Wind. So I honestly do not see the point of these cards. I'm just testing area out. So you could definitely replace this with anything else. You know, hand traps, spell cards, trap cards, or you know, core spirit charmer cards. But so reading the conditions, once per turn you contribute one other water monster. So let's actually read Alsa's because it has even more detail. You contribute one earth monster except this card to special summon one earth monster from your hand. This monster special summoned is destroyed if Avalanching Alsa is removed from your side of the field. So I really do not understand the point. You're tributing one earth monster on your field for another from your hand. So it's just like, why couldn't you just tribute summon to begin with? Why do you need the effect of this card? So I'm trying to figure that out. You know, maybe you could tribute summon a card that needs 2 tributes. Maybe you could take a monster from the opponent's side. I have to test this out. I really don't see the point yet, but once I find out, I will let you know. Also, just to let you know, I crafted Elemental Mistress Doriado and Doriado's Blessing to see if they could fit into this Charmers deck. I really don't see it. You know, it has synergy with your Spirit Charmers card. Awakening of the Possessed. Monsters you can control gain 300 attack for each different attribute you control. So if you manage to get this card on the field, that's 1200 attack because it's 4 elements. This can be treated as wind, water, fire, and earth while it's face up on the field. But you know, just super situational. I don't see the strength in it, so I'm not playing it. Moving on. So we talked about this card. So the familiar possessed cards. So actually, before we get into that, let's talk about the basic monster cards. So you have Inari Fire, Gigabyte. I added in Dark Doriado for Dark. We have Ranryu for Wind. Ida is a special card. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. So the strength of these cards is if you control a spellcaster, you can special summon. During your next standby phase, after this card was destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon from your graveyard. So it has some decent effects for 1500, you know, normal. But you know, it's just more the synergy with these other cards. So these familiar possessed cards. So familiar possessed Dark, you could special summon by sending one face up Dark the Charmer and one face up Dark Monster, which in our case would be Dark Doriado, to the graveyard. So it says when you do, you can add one level 3 or 4 light spellcaster from your deck to your hand. So it's a little complicated, but basically, you know, if you send him and say you had Dark Doriado on the field, you could special summon this 1850, which, you know, doesn't need to be special summoned, it's just to extend your plays. Then you could add a level 4 light spellcaster from your deck, which, you know, you could add anything, but for the synergy of you know, the Charmers, it would be most likely Familiar Possessed Lina or her other version, Lina the Light Charmer. So, you know, you have options. So they extend your plays a bit. We talked about these. So this is the Earth version, Water version, Dark Dorado. So I just added this card. I haven't tested it, but I feel like, you know, it'll add another element since it's dark. And basically all Earth, Water, Fire. Oh no, that's the pendulum effect. Sorry. If this is normal summoned, you can stack your deck with the elements that you want. So it could come in handy, you know, to set up your next play. This is the same as the other dark card, but you know, this is light version. We talked about this. Eda the Sun Magician. So she has synergy with your flip cards, because basically the quick effect. Well, first of all, you could special summon 1500 defense from your deck in face down position, which is awesome. And the secondary effect is you can change a face down spellcaster to face up defense. So that'll help you take control of monsters without, you know, needing another turn. Then we have the Wind Chandler. This is the first level 5. This has a special condition where if a wind monster is destroyed while this card is in your hand, you can special summon. So that's cool. Then these 2000 attack monsters. So you can special summon by sending a spellcaster and one face up of the corresponding attribute to the graveyard. And then when that happens, you can special summon a level 4 or lower from the graveyard, but negate its effects. So this is another way you can extend your plays, at least into fusions and the like. So here I have my Kaiju, Witchcrafter Golem. I just added her because she's just awesome. Like, if you don't have her from Witchcrafter set, you know, you don't need to add her. But I just find she's awesome, you know, since when your spellcaster is targeted, you can just throw her into the field, and then she comes back to the hand. So Elemental Grace Dorado. I actually have a clip where I was able to use her. So she has her uses because basically if you have 6 elements in your grave, you could special summon onto the field. I like having her in this deck. You know, your mileage may vary, but you could definitely replace her with another, like I said, Spirit Charmer card or Awakening the Possessed card. But since it's a super rare, you know, it's not bad. It can be a brick, but if you just hold on to her, as the game progresses, then you have a strong card to play. Moving on, we got Regeki, Harpy's Feather Duster, Monster Reborn, very standard URs. I believe Feather Duster is the only one I crafted. These other ones I got from solo mode. Awakening of the Possessed. This is very critical card because it helps you draw as you have cards on the field. So would recommend running at least 2. But I just don't have the UR for it right now. I will eventually and replace, you know, probably one of these cards with that. Forbidden Droplet. This is my failsafe card from the pack. Highly recommend getting this. Spirit Charmer, so another great card to run in this deck. If I could add one more, I would probably replace. It's tough because I like all these cards, you know, in my deck right now. So it'd probably be one of these hand traps. But you know, this is just strong to set up your board. You could take 2 cards and add one to your hand and set the other. It's just it just really helps to set up your board. So as I said, I'd probably get rid of one of these to add one of the URs down the line. But you know, since we're talking budget decks, this is super strong when you're in a pinch. Obviously, you'd have to set this the turn before. But if you're in the battle, your opponent's battle phase, and they're raring to end the game, you could completely flip, especially if they're running Link monsters or fusion monsters. You could totally turn the game around with this. Lost Wind, it's cool because you could activate this in the graveyard as well, so it has a double use for, you know, cheap card. So I love running this card, but I may eventually have to get rid of it. We'll see. Possess Partnerships. So this is a nice card. It's not as strong as the other Spirit Charmer, you know, related cards. But you can special summon a spellcaster from your hand or graveyard in defense. And then the other condition is you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target another trap, which would be either this one, which would be this one, and place it on your field. So that's a cool effect. Solemn Warning, you know, I just got this from the pack. I, you know, run it as an emergency, you know, failsafe. And then this, like, I really want to run 3 of these, but I don't have room. So basically, and you can only have one of these on the field at a time. But basically, Charmer monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. If a familiar possessed attacks an opponent's monster, it gains 800. So that would be one of these. Oh, sorry, just these. These 1850s. So that's nice. And then if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon a spellcaster with 1500 defense from your deck, whose attribute is different. So that's cool. It's just, you know, provides so many positive benefits to your gameplay. So that's the main deck. So extra deck, these are just kind of filler. I have a rare with 2 spellcaster monsters. This just has a nice effect. I have a level 1, which, you know, could help set up plays. It's a rare. Artemis, super rare. Crowley, I'm not sure I crafted this card. I feel like I got this from the secret pack. So not really that useful to you, especially since you have the Link Charmers. So Hita, Wind, Ausa, Area. I added Geonator. You know, you don't really need to add him. You're just filling a spot. Lina, and we're waiting for Dark. So I have 2 Linas because that's what I pulled. But these cards are super strong. You really gotta like plan your moves. But basically, you know, you could target an elemental monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon to your zone, and then if this card was destroyed, you could add that element's monster from your deck to your hand. So these are super versatile Link monsters. So would I recommend running 2 of these if you could afford it in your deck? I'm not too certain you would need 2 of these, but I guess, you know, feel it out. And if, say for example, you're running a lot of water charmers, and you know you want another chance to link into her, then, you know, replace Geonator with another water monster, but not essential. And then I have my Link 4s, which, you know, when I started out I didn't have all these. I think this is free from solo mode. I crafted these 2. These are just super strong. But you know, if you have a Link 3, you don't need Celine. But this is just 2+ monsters. And access code is just a beast. So if you can craft, definitely craft access code Talker or another level 4 Link for your gameplay. So let's get into some of the clips, the plays or potential plays. All right, so I have Familiar Possessed, the level 4 monster, the Awakening version, Feather Duster, Solemn Warning. He's running Flowing Breeze. And I told you, you know, I don't think I'm that confident. I don't think my opponents are that confident either, because this guy, I don't think he piloted this deck that well. And this is a meta deck that he's running. And I beat him, but I don't really know how much that was because of me or because he just made a mistake. So, let me just speed through this. So, I drew my Witchcrafter, cleared his back row, set my cards, started to clear his field a little bit, put some damage in, set my trap. So yeah, I was able to special summon the Familiar Possessed. Sorry. I feel like I'm missing something here. Ah, I special summoned him. But how did I get the other one on the field? Let's do it again. So this is a Flowing Breeze player. As I said, you know, I'm not in like Platinum, Diamond. I don't know how strong these opponents are really. I feel like he messed up. Sure that contributed to my win. So I have two level 4s and level 5 monster plus my Feather Duster and Solemn Warning. He's setting up his deck. Let's speed through this. I'm sorry, setting up his field. Alright. So I draw into Witchcrafter Golem. I clear his back row. Then I set Solemn Warning. I set my 1850 Familiar Possessed card. Oh, okay. So if you control a spellcaster, you can special summon. So there you go. I threw down my 1500 monster, and then I wanted to special summon him, so that's what I did. Put some damage on the board. So, use his pot. He takes another field spell. Clears my back row. And I'm not able to use Witchcrafter Golem there because that was not a spellcaster card. So he clears my field. And I get the strongest card basically in this deck. And Dark. Set them both. Change turns. I should have put him in defense position, but I wanted to bait him, I guess. So I was able to special summon this one, throw a Witchcrafter Golem on the field, and remove his card. denies my special summon. I pull Gigabyte, put him on, and I just start beating him down. I could have Link Monstered, but this one is damaging, and it was enough. So, there you go. I'm pretty sure he messed up, so, you know, I was kind of shocked that I won that easily. And this one is a little more entertaining, even though it's the same amount of time. Jump into it. So, I remember this one now. So this is where the Dark and Light Charmer cards come into play, or the flip cards come into play. So he's setting up his. As I said, I don't know how competent these opponents are. They're okay, but they're not like diamond level, platinum level. As I said, they're not top tier in this game. I feel like they made mistakes. So he's running Thunder Dragons or whatever it is that he's running. Let's speed through this. So he sets up his field. I have no hand traps, so just waiting for him to finish. Alright. Set a plan. And he has another big boy coming. Takes out life points for a fusion card. Thunder Dragon. There you go. So I get my Duel unlocked. I activate Spirit Charmers. I set evenly matched. I throw away level 5 card, and I forget which one was pulled. I believe it's this one. Or is it Lina? So this is so I didn't fully realize which one was light and which one was dark, but as you can tell, Thunder Dragon Titan is light, and Lupine is dark, and this Anaconda is dark. So I have options here. So I have her in defense position. I set my unpossessed trap. Set dark. So things are looking pretty decent. And by the way, I was able to set 2 cards because of Spirit Charmers. It allows you to set 1 card. So Lina was one of the cards that I pulled. I pulled 2 during that turn. So that's the strength of this card. Definitely craft more of these if you can. So let's continue. I activate my Unpossess, so now he can't destroy my cards for my battle. So I'm looking pretty good. So I don't know if that was the best play, but I was getting tired of seeing him pull cards, so I threw out my Droll Lock and Bird, try and slow down his play, and he just put everything down anyway. So I don't know how my turn will stop. Then he bumped up his guy to 4,200. So he hit me, I guess, without reading. So let me show you what happened. So I made the genius decision to pull this card. Well, that was probably the strongest dark on the field, right? So yeah, I can't say I misplayed. That was probably the best play I could make. He was able to damage me because, you know, that card isn't protected by unpossessed trap, but let's continue. I was able to if a monster you control is destroyed by a battle, you can special summon a 1500 event spellcaster monster from your deck. So that's how I got this card on the field. And then since he attacked my Lina, I was able to flip it up and get his Thunder Dragon. And okay, so this is where I made a mistake. Probably. Because basically if you're controlling cards, don't fusion them. So I made the mistake, you'll see, in my next turn. Because I had this guy's strongest card already. And, you know, I just get blinking and then I'm like, oh no. I just lost control of his 4200 attack card. So I just get blinking because, you know, you gotta keep going, right? So Celine, I special summon a spellcaster, go into Big Boy, Axis Code Talker, start dismantling this guy's field. Right? I could have kept his card and ran all this at the same time, so that was a misplay by me. But I took out his Link monster using Axis Code's effect. He's able to bring back this fusion monster. Oh, actually a bigger one. This is Colossus. Or it's a different one, sorry. So then I ash him at this point because I see him running another fusion card. So that was probably good timing by me. So Ash Blossom for the win. So I lay into him there. He's able to protect his monster. I hit him for some more damage. He's not done yet. So then I use my ability to remove another monster. So there you go. That is free-to-play Charmers. Oh, it was by time limit. Yeah, he was taking a while. But I think I would have won it anyway. So there you go. That was Charmers free-to-play. I will be continuing to make guides, so look out for those in the future. Take care, and see you next time.